Proud of the effort. Not big on moral victories. Had our opportunities right there with the ball 3 times down 5. Didn't seize the moment, and just got to, take the good from this game and just keep it moving.
That's what I was going to ask you first is, like, y'all did a lot of good stuff in the second half. How do you kind of carry that forward, and what were the adjustments made? Because, you go from turning the ball over 14 times to, I think, 3 or 4 times, and you're shooting a lot better and making smart decisions as a team.
Yeah, I was very interested to see what this new group was going to do out there on the floor because they've never played Houston, and very timid in the first half. At halftime, I was saying, man, we have plays to, to get us to the basket. Let's just get to the paint every time in the second half, and that's what we did. And we played much better.
Was there anything you did substantially different, like one half to the next?
Yeah, for sure. We tried to run offense, like our default offense, and they just wouldn't allow us to run it. So we spaced the floor and just gave guys opportunities to be strong with the basketball and just challenge them to do what we do all the time. We do combo work, we do individual work all the time on those areas. So they came out in the second half and did. I don't know why they didn't do it in the first half, maybe nerves. Second half, they got more comfortable. I said, you guys have seen it now. Now let's go out here and compete.
When you're down, obviously you're your best player, and your other 2 guys that you're trying to bring back are obviously not 100% yet.
Yeah.
How do you go about putting those puzzle pieces together? How do you find the right combination?
It was hard because, you want to give Malcolm minutes, you want to give Alo minutes. I knew Malcolm hadn't ran or sprinted yet in practice, so it was kind of difficult for me to, to keep him out there. I've been watching Alo do it. He's been sprinting, he's been running, so obviously he played more minutes today. So it was difficult because you're trying to bring them back into the fold on the biggest game of the year, and it was tough.
What was your expectation of those guys, dropping them into this environment and get to number 2 Houston?
I didn't have any expectations today. It's too difficult. They've been playing all season, and then all of a sudden, Malcolm's been out 2 months, Alo's been out a month, and you dropped them right into this game. It was kind of unfair for both of those guys to come back this game.
So what is the outlook as we sit here now with Kendrick and with Alex and with Malcolm?
Well, we just got to get Malcolm into shape, get him into shape, and then see how much more longer Kendrick's going to be out.
Do you have an idea right now?
I don't. I don't think he's as bad as he was. Will that be Thursday at Wichita? I don't know. It might be the next game against Cincinnati.
What were those conversations like with Kendrick? Because I know he's a guy that if you had said, "Hey, go play," he would have probably played, in his hometown.
Yeah,
How long did you know that he wasn't going to play?
I could kind of feel it early on because of how frustrated he was. Because if he was playing, he would have been more upbeat. I think he was just being smart, saying, "Hey, I have to miss this one, and then just just come back when I'm feeling better." Because I'm sure he wanted to play.
So same page on that decision. Same page on that decision, like he wasn't.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, we weren't going to force him out there. He couldn't be himself. There was no need for him to be on the floor.
I'm saying him forcing himself out there because he's the type of guy that probably would.
Yeah, he would try. Yeah, he would definitely try to force himself out there.
Did he give you anything on the bench today? Like, did he play a role at all?
Yeah, he was talking to the guys the entire time because he saw what was going on. He was trying to encourage those guys. He stayed engaged the entire game.
What did you see on Jonathan's layup attempt there?
Lost his footing on the Euro. On the Euro, I think he slipped or twisted his ankle and then tried to go up and just threw it all the way back on the other side. So I knew Shed had 4 fouls, and I thought he was just going to keep going. Shed just got in his way. Jonathan just missed a layup we know that he can make. That's all. I saw that.
A younger guy like that, how is he handling, kind of missing that moment there? And what's the locker room telling him? What are you telling him?
Yeah, well, that moment doesn't define him because he played great basketball. He did some great stuff out there. That layup miss is something that we know that's not going to happen again. He's a very talented guy to be able to go out there as a freshman and impact the game in a positive way. We're not going to let that one layup define what he did on the day. He played great.
I know it's a loss and they're, moral victories or just whatever, but are you encouraged at all?
I am encouraged because that team is going to be number 1 in the nation tomorrow. I'm thinking. So I think we know that we can play with them. I think this group now has seen and been in the fire in a hostile environment against those guys. So, I think, I'm definitely encouraged.
Does it, make you even more, hungrier and determined to, get back out on the floor? And,
Absolutely. That's exactly what I told the team. Let's get hungrier from this moment. We played, with 90% Alo, kind of a 60% Malcolm and no KD, and still had an opportunity to win the game. Get back into the game, and we just didn't do it. So definitely going to be using this as motivation.
In terms of the mentality of you and the guys, when you're thinking KD's not going to play, and Malcolm and Alo are not 100%, and you look at social media or whatever, and everybody's counting y'all out. How do you get your guys to go into this and say, hey, we do have a chance if we do X, Y, Z, A, B, C?
We always believe. That's something that you just can't take from us. We're going to believe in any game that we go in that we can win, no matter who the team that we're playing against. And the guys were prepared. And one thing you can't account for is nerves. And we don't really worry about, the outside noise of what we can't do because we know what we're capable of.
What did Houston do so well today?
They just play hard. They expect to win. They play hard. They make plays when they have to make plays. No matter how much you have them down, no matter you feel like how much you feel like you're in the game, what they do is they keep grinding because that's their culture.
Do you feel? How did you feel coming into this game about your postseason prospects, about your NCAA tournament prospects? How did you feel coming in?
I feel good. I feel like we've done a lot to show who we are. And if they were watching the game today, they saw we had no Kendrick Davis and outscored the #1 team in the country in the second half. I'm not trying to put a campaign out there. I hope they don't judge us from, oh, they lost to Houston and now we got to drop them so many spots. We really didn't have Malcolm today. I don't know if he played like 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Okay.
No Kendrick, and then even though Alo played, he's at 90%. So, and how we played with their full team. So to me, I feel like our hopes are good.
Why'd you? Can I ask one more?
You can ask one more.
You're good.
You can ask one more.
I was saying, Alo and Malcolm, how'd you kind of decide to drop them in here versus saying, hey, let's just.
No, they told me. Yeah,
Okay.
they told me. They came to me last minute. It was like, hey, we want to try it in Houston. I kept asking Alo how he felt. We needed the leadership out there, and that's how it went.